Okay, episode 3 of the All Sweet podcast. Man, I am pissed off with myself today. I've been up since 5 a.m. I had some work stuff to do. I went to the gym. I thought I'd be one of those people. I'll get up early and go to the gym so I can have the whole day ahead of me. What a load of shit this whole theory has been. I have wrecked myself. I am exhausted. I keep trying to be something I'm not. I keep trying to be one of these people who gets up early and seizes the day. Let's face it, I'm not going to be seizing the day anytime soon. I seize the night. I exist between the hours of 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Anything outside of that, my business hours are 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. I don't exist outside of that. I try. No matter how much I try, it doesn't work. I try to go to sleep early because I knew I was going to get up early today. I thought, let's rein it in. Let's go to bed 9 p.m. Lo and behold, 11:30 p.m. I'm sending emails, booking gigs, listening to podcasts, doing God knows what else. Then I wake up in the morning and I hate myself. Man, I've gone in I've gone in hard on the third episode. 10 seconds in and I've already neared a meltdown. That's fine. Now, but in all honesty, I was doing all this stuff today. I had the intention. I thought I was going to get this recording done by finished by 2 p.m., have it edited, have it out online, and so be it, and have the afternoon ahead of me. Do you know where I stuffed up? I stuffed up by taking a nap at 12 p.m. and getting back into my bed. As soon as you re-enter your bed during the day, you've lost the day. Your day's done. By the time it came time for me to shoot this actual podcast, I had to down a coffee. I'm filling up those Nescafe iced coffees with double spoons of coffee. I'm spooning instant coffee into my pre-mixed coffee sachets, trying to stay awake. And now I'm all hopped up and buzzing. I don't know. Maybe I should give energy drinks a go. But I know apparently if you have energy drinks, the crash is harder. I actually know a few people who are religious energy drinkers. They won't drink coffee. They won't drink coffee after 12 p.m., but they'll smash a can of V 3 times a day. It's a certain type of people that drink energy drinks. Energy drinkers, they're the most unhealthy people, but somehow have the least health issues from anyone. Like they never have colds. They don't have food allergies. I suppose they never eat food, so they're not going to know they're allergic to anything. They're never tired. They're completing side quests. Their day consists of everything and nothing at the same time. They're always really attractive as well. Actually, no, I take that back. They're not always really attractive because I think there's 2 breeds of energy drinkers. You have the stoner energy drinker who drinks an energy drink to sit in a vegetative state. They drink energy drinks so they can stay awake longer and sit in the one spot for longer. They're gamers. They're playing games. They're drinking energy drinks just so they can stay on COD longer. They're peeing in bottles. After they drink their energy drink, they're peeing in that same bottle straight after. And then you have the hot energy drinker who they're always doing something. They're running around. They're always on the go. They're drinking energy drinks because they can never stop doing anything. And then you ask them what they've done with their day. It's always nothing. They're always on the go, but they've achieved all the things, yet what they've achieved never makes any sense. They've got that shredded junkie look from consuming a diet that's only cigarettes and Red Bull cans. Others spend hours in the gym trying to get that lean look. Man, just puff a Marlboro, down a can of V and call it a day. There's your cardio. Whatever, man. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. What's been happening? So, like I said, this is episode 3. Last week I was in Sydney. I didn't record an episode for last week because I thought, you know what? You've got the first 2 out. I'm not Joe Rogan. I thought, how much really am I going to have to talk about? I'll wait until I come back from Sydney and then I'll have things to talk about. So why I went to Sydney. So I went to Sydney because I had some gigs booked. I did Comedy Untamed in Darlinghurst at Kinsella's with ID Comedy Club. That was good. That was a lot of fun. I don't know, those gigs are always fun because there's that line game element and it's already a brand that people have seen online because it's got a lot of viral videos and they know what to expect when they go to a Comedy Untamed gig. So that was fun. And then Saturday I did a gig in Newtown to 6 people. And let's just say by the time I finished, we had 12 people in the room. It was good fun. There was a couple there. There was a couple at this gig and they were in their 50s. And personally, I think if you're above the age of 19, if that, and you're still having to embrace each other constantly in public, someone's cheating on, someone's done something bad in that relationship and they're trying to overcompensate. Who needs that much hugging when you're this couple, they were in their 50s. The guy was this Greek guy. He had his shirt open, chest exposed, of course, little chest hairs curled about. She's there twirling his chest hairs. He's there with his arm around her. The Eskimo kissing the noses. He's nuzzling into her. She's whispering things in his ear. He's nuzzling into her neck. Eventually I was like, what's your story? Like, is this your kink? You come to comedy gigs with 6 people and get your rocks off in the front row? It was distracting. I was like, is this a comedy gig or is this about to break into an orgy? In fairness, I'm sure there's been orgies with more than 6 people. Then some guy walks in on his own without his friend. I said, what's your story? He goes, oh, I've come here with my friend. I'm like, why are you running late? He goes, oh, my friend's why we're running late. I'm like, where is your friend? He goes, oh, he's outside. I'm like, well, he sounds like a shit friend. Makes you run late to a gig you've paid good money for, up in the $30 percentile, and you're running late to this gig. And then he doesn't even sit next to you. Where is he? It sounds like a shit friend in all honesty. Then 6 guys walked in and these 6 guys all looked like a variation of each other. They all had the same sort of the shorts and the loose T-shirt, the haircut, the mustache. But then like each one of them had a slightly different thing. Like one might have had the shorts, the mustache and the broccoli haircut. Then the other guy might have had the broccoli haircut, the shorts and no mustache. Do you get what I mean? There's something nowadays where a lot of these guys, they go out together and they all have basically the same outfit. It's like, did you plan this? Are guys now hitting each other up in the group chat trying to coordinate their clothes? I remember once I was in Manly in Sydney and we were standing outside the venue. It was me, a friend of mine and like some randoms. And these guys walked past and I was deep in some conversation about something and these 3 guys caught my eye and I basically just said to them, you all look like the same guy. Did you consult each other in the group chat before picking your outfits? Everyone I was with, they loved it. The 3 guys, they weren't too happy, but it's funny that, isn't it? Because if 3 girls wore the same outfit, people kind of find it hot. Like it's got that whole cheerlead effect to it. But yeah, I like going to Sydney for gigs because I get along with a lot of the comedians there. I've developed a group of people who I like seeing. In saying that, my friends of 10 years, did they bother come see me? No, of course not. I've got this friend, we speak every day. We've spoken every single day for the last 10 years. And when you're in your 20s, that's a long time because that's like half your life at that point. This person has been through every major milestone of my life and vice versa thus far, and then they can't even catch up for a coffee. What are you doing? Oh, I slept in. Set your alarm, bro. So there was a lot of that. But I also, what else did I do? One of the promoters had a housewarming, went to that. We watched the UFC match. You had, what's his name, Jake Paul walking around looking like a mufti. He's grown this beard. He looks like Jake Paul came out into this boxing ring looking like some guy who had been to prison, gotten himself into some strife, and then his Turkish cell block partner rescued him, and he is now indebted. And then Jake Paul's been like, you know what, this guy, he's indebted to this dude. He's grown the beard. He's practicing. He's doing the prayers. He's committed to it. That was the vibe Jake Paul came out with. I know the fight was interesting. Look, we all know what the deal with the fight was. They're going in there, they're making millions. Everyone obviously wanted Tyson to. I wanted him to win. And I think if Mike Tyson wanted to go for the knock, it wasn't in his interest to knock out Jake Paul anyway, because I think there was a clause where the longer he stayed in the ring, the more money he would get. I could be so wrong. And I'm talking here like I know what I'm talking about. All I know is I watched it. No, I do know what I'm talking about a bit. I trained Muay Thai for multiple years. I got to the point where they said, look, do you want to start doing amateur fights? And I said, I'm going to go play bass and be a muso because I'm an artist. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I was the worst person doing Muay Thai because I was great when it came time to punching pads and doing combos and doing that. As soon as I had to fight another person, I was the absolute worst. I would punch someone and then apologize after. I'd be having someone pummeling into me, and because I don't know what it is, I just couldn't hit another person because I'd feel immense. I don't know. I just feel bad hitting someone. And that's not the qualities of a fighter. That's the qualities of an arts student. Anyway, that was a bit of a tone shift. I've lost my ways a bit. Lost my direction. Let's get back on track. So the fight, I was in Sydney, had a barbecue. Actually, I wanted to talk about the flight to Sydney because there's one thing I have noticed that really annoys me when it comes to flying, and it's those people who, as soon as they get on the plane and the plane gets in the air and it takes off, as soon as the seatbelt sign goes off, they're standing up. They're having to go to the toilet. They're having to get food. What are you doing? Melbourne to Sydney, it's probably one of the shortest flights ever. You spend half the flight taking off and landing. You cough, you fart, and you're there. I don't know what it is with some people. The seatbelt sign goes off, boom, they're up. They're straight up. They're out of their seat. They're looking through their luggage. What are you looking for at this point? Sit down. We've got 10 minutes. People, they're ordering drinks. They're ordering food like they're at some sort of diner. They're paying $10 for a bag that has 4 nuts in it. One guy, it's 11:30 a.m. He's ordering wines. He's English, of course. By 11:45, he's drunk. He's telling everyone how the best thing you've got to invest your money in Bitcoin. If you want to quadruple your money, invest it in Bitcoin. Bitcoin crashed. You're flying Jetstar, babe. To be fair, he was actually a really nice guy. Look, I went in wrong about the English guy. He was loud. He was singing. He was chatty. He's buying other people's drinks. I'm there like, oh, look at this Larry guy trying to prove a point, trying to sell himself. He's talking how he's got the blue tick, how he picked up some chick. He's got the blue tick on Instagram. I wrote this guy off. By the end of the flight, must be said, pretty good guy. He sold me. He's nearly had me investing in Bitcoin. He made me open up my Binance account. I haven't done that in like 3 years. Of course, it's down. But hey, I'm sticking with it all because of this dude. And then he's talking to me about how he hasn't seen his niece in England. He's so excited to fly and meet his niece. Then he's telling me last night he was at a charity event for cervical cancer. Him and a friend of his put the event together. They raised money. He was there setting up for this event. Now he's having some downtime. I'm like, wow, this is the nicest person ever. He's a humanitarian on a plane. He's doing people favors, buying them drinks. I'm sitting there, I'm flying to tell people a few jokes. And I'm taking the moral high ground. I'd even buy myself a drink, let alone anyone else. See, you can't judge people. Then you landed, went to my usual accommodation. I have developed a name at this hotel. I'm convinced they think I am a lady of the night or something, because whenever they see me leave, it's always nighttime. I'm always in some stage outfit, maybe a little too much breast happening. I've got the leather pants happening, the makeup, the hair. It's all happening. I can scrub myself up pretty good, if I must say. And they give me looks. They're smiling at me. The workers there, they think I'm up to something. And especially because they ask me, what are you here for? And I go, they go, is it work or leisure? I'm like, a bit of both. In their mind, they're thinking, she's not here for work or leisure. She's here for pleasure, for other people. There's some goss happening. A lot of my comedy mates, they roast me. Why are you staying by the airport? What rush are you in to make a quick getaway? And why the Travelodge? This Travelodge, I think it wasn't always a Travelodge, because Travelodges have those primary blue and green colors, orange tones. They're very abrasive in color. This Travelodge is a bit different. It's got earth tones, a lot of wood textures, natural stone, if you will. It's nicer. It's refurbished. And I think it's heavily defined. You know your hotel is decent when you have the crescent driveway. This is what we were talking about. And this Travelodge, it's got the crescent driveway. The Uber pulls in. It pulls in and pulls out. It does the half moon rotation. It comes and collects me and then pulls out head first, making me feel like I'm something special as I sit in the back seat, as my Uber driver doesn't talk to me. I had one Uber driver, however, he pulls out a magnifying glass. He couldn't see the map. Isn't that concerning when your Uber driver picks you up? He's got his own pair of glasses on. He's got the map zoomed on 200. Then he pulls out a magnifying glass to see the map. This guy clearly can't even see the cars in front of him. If he can't see the map in front of him, how's he going to see the cars in front of him? I'm going to trust this guy to take me where I need to get to. So I caught up with another comedian in Sydney. We went to a venue in Marrickville called Lazy Bones. It's a jazz bar. And we went there to talk and chat. We wanted a quiet hang, especially considering the night before I had done my gig, and then I went to a club with a few people. We watched another comedian's solo hour, and then we went partying after, and it was a big night. I'll talk about that night after, but let me talk about this hang that I had. So we go to this jazz bar that looked amazing inside, just velvet on the walls, on the floor, on the seats, chandeliers, artwork. It just looked really cool. I can't even describe it. It was eclectic, if that's the word that's applicable here. It was, those venues where you just associate it with being red. There's a lot of red happening. It was that. It was really chill. I'm like, this is great. We'll order some food. We'll have a chat. Probably 15 minutes into the hang, when we've already received our food, a Colombian band appears on stage. The loudest thing ever. Colombians in general are loud. I've met you think that the Eastern Europeans are loud? The Colombians are the energy drink version of Eastern Europeans. They get loud, man. They're dancing. The instruments are basically all percussive. There's things being hit. They're la 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 la, like all these noises. I don't know what is going on. There's beads, there's sounds, people are slamming stuff, they're jiving. All this stuff is happening. I can't hear out of my right ear as it is. I'm looking at my mate. I can't understand him. He can't understand me. We're there. We had to leave because of how I've never downed a pizza that quick in my life. Gave myself a stomach, gave myself a stitch trying to get out of there. We go downstairs. There's a storm. So the gods didn't want us to leave this venue. They clearly want us to stay. I then make the journey through the storm, through Marrickville to then find another venue. I was drenched. My hair was flat. My makeup was everywhere. My top had, you know, when you get the rain splotches all over you. Then I start tearing up listening to this guy tell me about something that he had happened in his life. I'm sitting across from him tearing up, telling him, no, keep telling me the story. I'll stop tearing. I'm there, makeup running down my face, trying to push through this conversation. He's looking around like, God, he's got to end up on some sort of list. Someone's going to recognize him from somewhere, report him, got to end up in the Daily Mail because I'm looking there like I'm there, because I'm looking like I'm there against my will. Anyway, the tears dry up. Keep talking, we're laughing, talk about why we're getting into comedy. Another topic comes up. I start tearing up again. I don't know, the floodgates had opened once and then that was it. I was tearing up like I had issues. And then he goes, it's a release, it's fine. I don't want a release. I'm here to have a good time. I've lost my hearing in the process, listening to this Colombian interpretive dance act. I'm drenched. I'm crying. At this point, I'm like, you know what? Let's call it a hang. He goes, at this point, I'm like, let's call it a hang. To be honest, it was a good time. It was a wave of emotions. What can I say? I'll talk about the night before. Do you see what I mean? Maybe I should have had the coffee at a different time. I'm telling this story backwards. I started off in Sydney. Then I went back to the flight. Then I started off with the gigs. Now I'm talking about the last night. Now I'm back on the second night. I apologize. Hopefully this erraticness has been somewhat entertaining. I'll rate it in next week. I should have planned myself better, man. Do you know what's happening? I'm telling the stories backwards because I'm trying to recall the order of events. So yeah, the Sunday was the emotional day. The Saturday, that was the UFC fight, the barbecue, the Newtown gig where I tried to get everyone into an orgy. That did not happen. I'm very happy about that. But then I went to this party and, well, it wasn't a party. It was a solo comedy show of another comedian. And then after it turned into a party at a nightclub, which was a lot of fun. It gave me a chance to hang out with more people that I haven't typically hung out with. I had a few girls I'm really close with now who I've become very close with. They're from the West. They're not comedians, but honestly they should be. I don't know. Ethnics are just funny. It's just the way they deliver things. No one delivers things how ethnics deliver it. I've got to say, there's some quick, sharp wit that's just so cutting. And I think it stems from coming from loud families, so you have to be quick and cutting to get your point across. Otherwise, no one's going to listen to you. But there were a few people at this party as well where I don't know what it is with some people when they drink, some sort of switch happens. They flip and become almost nonsensical. For a long time, I used to call them, because I have friends like this, I used to call them Angloholics because it was also always my Aussie mates where they'll be fine the first drink, the second drink. Then the third drink is the Wild West. You don't know what's going to happen. They're either crying, like how I was the other night, but I didn't drink, so I'm justified. You girls had a rough few years. Anyway, but they're either crying or they're getting into a fight or they're introducing themselves 4 times to someone they've met multiple times, or they'd get that stare. You know when you're having a conversation with someone else and then they pull up and then contribute nothing. They just kind of just stare into the distance. Their eyes are glassed over. At some point in the night, they tell you and your friends, oh, you guys need to look after me. Why are you giving me work now? What do I look like? The Red Cross. You've gotten too drunk. Now you're my responsibility. Everyone else is somehow fine. Now we're having to figure out how you're going to get home, how you're going to stand up, how you're going to keep your clothes on, how you're going to wipe your ass when you go to the toilet. Why are you my response? I'm really bad in those scenarios. I don't know. I think there's a part of me, and I know this sounds bad, where I don't like to be inconvenienced. And I know sometimes it just happens. And if someone is in a dangerous situation or they're at risk, 100%, I'll help them out. But those people who time and time again, they get themselves in the same position and they expect everyone else to look after them, you're on your own, buddy. You wanted to enter the Wild West. You pulled out the big guns thinking you're going to be downing tequilas, Prosecco's, rum and cokes, vodka, whatever's being poured. You're pulling out the big guns. You've got no alcohol tolerance. Do what it is. I don't go out partying much. So when I do go out partying, don't inconvenience me. That's it. And I think that's a fair thing. I don't like to be inconvenienced. I don't even like inconveniencing myself. I inconvenience myself and then I don't even want to be around myself. Like me taking 4 hours to start this podcast today, downing triple shot coffees and then releasing this. This episode is the Wild West today, in all honesty. Then what happened on Saturday, the day before? Oh, yeah, I went to Bondi. Man, Bondi, you teased me. I thought I was going to go to Bondi. I was going to take all these aesthetic photos for the Instagram. I copped the grey weather. I copped this grey weather. I might as well have been in Melbourne. I thought, I'll take a photo. I'll fix it in post. I took this highly aesthetic photo of me sitting at this cafe. I've got the beach behind me. I've got the sunnies. I've got the outfit. I've got the hair. I've got the grey skies surrounding me. I'm there posing with sunglasses, looking off into the distance. Where are you looking? I'm looking to a blizzard. That's where. I don't know. The photo looked pretty cool. Maybe I'll upload it. Maybe I just need to accept I'm never going to be an aesthetic kind of girl. You know those girls that get their Instagram looks polished. They've got the shots. They've got the outfit. They've got the poses. I went for this walk in Bondi with Casey, another Casey Gothard, very good comedian. We went for a walk, had a coffee, had a meal. I had been recovering from a sickness earlier this week. And for some, when you're sick, nothing works as well when you're unwell or recovering from a sickness. I went from hero to zero very quickly. I woke up, I'm strutting around, I'm in the outfit. After 2 hours of strutting around, I felt like I went from a wallflower to a shrinking violet. I'm there having to sit down and take a breather every 2 seconds. But it was good. It was good to have another comedian from Melbourne. It was good to have my friend with me because comedy gigs get so lonely, man, because it's just you. It's just you on your own, aimlessly walking around like a literal NPC until later in the evening where you go on stage for 10 minutes. It's lonely times. And plus being sick on top of it, I had the worst blocked nose. Trying to do stand-up with a blocked nose. Do you know what? I've done a lot of music gigs while sick, and I think doing stand-up while sick is worse. In saying that, I never sang much because I was a bassist. So I could kind of just shut up play the song and stick it out for the half hour to hour set and then just go die in the van or in the green room after. I'm not having to rely on talking, whereas I'm trying to talk. I can't breathe through my nose. I'm coughing. I'm stuttering. I'm spluttering. No, it wasn't a good – this weekend it is the wild – it's the Wild West on stage. It's the Wild West in the venue. It's the Wild West trying to do a social hang. I'm snorting while doing the gig, snotting about. And the annoying thing is I didn't even get myself sick. If I got sick from going on a night out and not wearing enough clothes, that's on me. I got sick because I swear my dad and my brother, they're catching colds every 2 minutes and it's always right before I have to go somewhere. It's always someone else getting you sick. Have you noticed that? All the time. And then they never tell you. They do the thing, oh, you unwell? No, just got a tickle. Yeah, do you know what that tickle is? The fucking flu, man. You're unwell. Go hide for a bit. My brother, we decide, oh yeah, let's go to the gym. Big mistake. We went to the gym while he was unwell. He's there. The first time we do a gym session together in years, we go there. The guy's breaking out of sweat after one set. I'm like, you all right? He goes, yeah. It's the detoxing. I'm like, what do you want about? Oh, it's not the detox. It's the fucking plague, man. You look like you've got jaundice. The guy's sweating all over me. He's coughing in my face. I'm like, go wipe yourself. Nah. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's not good for me, bro. What are you coughing? What are you coughing out? He goes, it's the phlegm. It's breaking up. Like, it doesn't sound good. Nah, it's all good. It's natural. Just because something's natural doesn't mean I want it around me, man. And I remember the exact moment when he was unwell and I realized that he was unwell. I felt whatever he had, whatever little tickle or viral bullshit he had going on, I then felt it. You know, straight away you get that like you've inhaled a dust particle in your throat. I felt it. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be sick now. Lo and behold, 3 days later, couldn't stand up. I'm there having to grip at surfaces to get from one part of the house to the other part of the house. So all in all, was Sydney a good time? It was a good time. It was a very good time. Could have done without the cold. Could have done without the blocked nose. Could have done without randomly tearing up in conversation. But the rest of it, that was fun. And do you know what you guys could have done without? You could have done without Jacinta being hopped up on coffee, man. I thought I'd be fine. This episode, I don't know. There's some loose threads all over the shop. I'll end it on this. I'll talk about the waving cats. Do you know what's gone wrong? Every other episode I've done, I've taken notes. I've written down what I plan to talk about and chronologically, and I kind of have an order. I had no order. There was no order to me. Nah, but I walked past a shop in Bondi and it had those, you know, those waving cats with the arm that you see in a lot of shops. And no, I've got 2 stories I'll finish on and then that's it. And hopefully these stories can kind of redeem whatever the hell this episode has been. So the first one is I walked past the shop and it had the waving cat in the window. Oh, sorry, by the till, by the cash register. This waving cat, the purpose of it or the idea behind it is it's there to help bring it's there to help bring the venue cash. It's to bring in cash flow, bring in money. And I think, yeah, I've seen this a fair bit. It's not strange to see this, especially in certain shops. You can fill in the blanks. I ain't saying anything. But this one shop, it had 20 waving cats. At that point, I'd be like, all right, now you're just being greedy. How much money do you want, bro? 1 waving cat I can get. 2 waving cats, all right, it's a bad economy. Like, oh, I'll double my luck. 3, one of those had to be a gift. If you've got 5 waving cats, then I suppose eventually I'll have to ask you, man, why do you have 5 waving cats? 10 waving cats? If you've got 10 waving cats, your business, it's clearly a drug front. 20 waving cats, then I'd say, all right, maybe you need to reassess your business model. How about you try a hello? Maybe that'll help you increase your takings. Run a Google ad. You're putting all this pressure on a porcelain doll with a robotic arm. I think at that point, just sell the waving cats. Make money off the promise that if you buy this, you will be able to make money. Because clearly whatever product you're currently selling, it's not working. The economy is doing tough. You can't get good workers. Even the beggars are getting lazy. I had a beggar come up to me while I'm waiting at Newtown Station. He shows me a piece of paper. It has, "Can I have $10 please," written on it. Doesn't say a word. He's munching on a pastry. Man, put some effort in. What happened? You're not even living up to the name. You're a beggar. Live up to it. Put some beg into it. What happened to the elevator pitch? I appreciate the good handwriting. Right now, for what I'm seeing, you're munching on artisan pastries. You're charging $10 a head. Clearly, you're doing better than I am. Now, I'm trying to catch this bus for free while trying to figure out if you're dropping almond or coconut flakes in my lap. Matt, how about you spare me some cash for the bus? I don't know. Times are getting dire. This episode was a bit dire. No, I think it was, look, you got the raw version of me. I had fun. I hope you've had fun listening. My learnings for next week, plan myself out a bit better. Maybe consume the coffee 2 hours earlier and don't wait until 4 p.m. to start recording. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Hopefully you've made it to the very end. I'm Jacinta Jaye. This is episode 3 of the All Sweet podcast. Catch you next week.